So this is a different kind of video. I posted on Facebook a month or so ago my morning prep for breakfast. I cook breakfast one day of the week. It lasts all weeks, and it really is kind of the cheapest way to go about it, and it also makes sure that everybody kind of gets something homemade for breakfast instead of eating a lot of prepackaged stuff. It's really easy to do. The way I do it, you're going to need biscuits. I get the 20 pack. We love the honey butter biscuits. We get these at Walmart. This one bag of biscuits doing this breakfast is enough to last for 3 weeks. So it works out really well for us. I think this bag of biscuits is like $4 or something. This is the larger. I think they have a smaller one that's like 11 biscuits to the bag. It's a better deal to get the bigger one. You're going to need a pound of bacon. We used to buy bacon at Walmart. The bacon at Walmart is, we get the maple bacon. I think it's $5.49 a pound or something like that. At Sam's, you can get regular bacon at Sam's, a 3-pound pack, and it's $11. I just looked at the receipt. It's $11 for 3 pounds. So it's a whole lot cheaper to get the bacon in bulk at Sam's. I just buy the big pack. I bring it home. I divide it up and put it in baggies like this and freeze it, and that's enough for $11 does 3 weeks worth of breakfasts for 4 people. So that's not a bad deal. And Sam's also sells the sausage. I also looked at the receipt. This is like $3 at Walmart, or you can get the 3-pack at Sam's is $7. So it's basically getting a roll for free if you buy it in the 3-pack. And then we also get English muffins. I usually buy those at Sam's. You get a 2-pack of 9 muffins. So you get extra muffins, and it ends up being, because you're buying the 2-pack, you're ending up getting like 6 muffins for free or something, because this is the 6-pack from Walmart. It's $2.50. The 2-pack of 9 muffins at Sam's, I think, was $4. So it's a huge savings on those. So you're going to need biscuits, bacon, sausage. The reason I do both is the girl child likes the bacon with the muffins, and the boy child likes the sausage with the biscuits. So that takes care of that. And then you're also going to need something to store it in your refrigerator. I paid $1 for this at Dollar Tree. It is actually a shoe box, but it works perfect for storing all of this. Oh, and you're going to need eggs. I forgot to set the eggs out on the counter. So, like I said, and you're going to need eggs. I get the 18 carton. I usually cook between 12 and 16 of them, because sometimes they want extra eggs. But the 18 carton is enough to last all week plus some. So, okay, now I'm going to show you how to do it. So, first things first, before I do anything else, I set the oven on to preheat. I get the biscuits on the pan ready to go in, and then I just get the griddle out and go ahead and prep the pan for the eggs. So once the oven preheats, I'll put the once the oven preheats, I'll go ahead and put the biscuits in, and then I'll set the eggs on the stove to boil, and then I'll start cooking the meat. I like to do it on a griddle because I can get a whole lot more cooked at one time. I can have bacon and sausage going, or I can have all the bacon on there going. It just makes it so much faster. And another tip with the bacon is, a lot of times when you cook bacon, if you cook a full slice, it kind of shrinks up and folds in on itself. If you cut the slices in half, they don't tend to roll over on themselves, and they make better sandwiches. So that's like pre-prep. Preheat oven, set up biscuits, set up griddle, get the eggs together. So that's step 1. So once we have the biscuits in the oven, which you can see those are in the oven, the eggs are on. They haven't started to boil yet. You want to boil your eggs for somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. It really depends on how long it takes your water to get to a full boil and how done you like your yolks. We do not like the soft boil. We definitely are a hard boiled family. So I usually let them actually boil for about 15 minutes and then set them in an ice bath. That makes them easier to peel when the kids get ready to peel them. You don't peel them before you store them in the refrigerator. You just boil them, let them cool, and then store them in the refrigerator. So I have the biscuits going, the eggs are going, the griddle is warming up. While the griddle is warming up, the best tip I can give you, especially if you're dealing with sausage, is to go ahead and divide your sausage out into a patty. That way you're not arguing with trying to make sure you've got the right amount whenever you're actually cooking it, if that makes sense. I actually slice mine with a knife. It's so much easier if the sausage is thawed out, but it is not at room temperature. If, like, you put it in the refrigerator and let it thaw overnight in the refrigerator, so it's still kind of a bit froze when you start dealing with it. I mean, it's not froze, but it's very firm still. That's the best time to slice it. And then, of course, you know, the bacon, I go ahead and pull it out of the baggie because everything is really greasy and sticky once you start messing with the griddle. I always make sure I have a plate with a paper towel out as a kind of a grease wick, and you want a spatula for your sausage patties, and either a fork or a spatula if you've got mad cooking skills for the bacon. I usually can't flip bacon with a spatula. I have to use a fork. So that's pretty much how I do it. I'm going to set the camera on a tripod now and just let you watch some stuff cook, because that's the way I roll. So So I have started pulling the bacon off. We like crispy bacon in this house, so you might be looking at it thinking I'm burning it. I'm really not. It cooks up crispy, it drains crispy, but then when you put it in a baggie and put it in the refrigerator, it kind of turns chewy again. I don't know how to explain it to you. I'm just telling you like it is. So usually what I do once I start pulling bacon off, I start working the sausage patties. As room allows, they each have to be cooked, and I kind of cut into the edge of them to make sure that they're done, you know, while they're cooking, because nobody wants pink sausage. That's a little bit on the disgusting side if you ask me. So normally it's more firm than what this is, so you just kind of make a rough patty and throw it on the griddle, and then once you flip it, you can flatten it out or whatever you want to do with the spatula. Some people like big fat ones. I like the thinner ones that I'll actually take up a whole biscuit. So it really is just whatever you prefer. I can get 6 or 7 sausage patties out of a pound roll of sausage. So that's how that lasts all week. it's very important that you always remember to wash your hands once you've handled meat before you step away and touch anything else. You know, just for germ issues. Flip on it. So our biscuits have come out. That means the eggs have been on for 20 minutes, but they haven't actually been boiling for 20 minutes. So I'm going to let those boil for a couple of more minutes. We've started cooking our sausage, then pulling the bacon. We just have a little bit of sausage left to go, and then we can let everything cool to room temperature and prep. So I've pulled all the bacon. Let's see if I can get so I've pulled all the bacon now. Eggs are cooling, the biscuits are cooling, everything is going as planned. At this point, if you're using a griddle, you need to, hopefully you know where the hot spots are on your griddle. Every griddle I've ever owned has one place on there that always gets a little bit hotter than the rest. It usually seems to be this corner back here where the plug-in comes in. I'm assuming that's because where the power is going in. I don't know. I'm not a science guy. I don't know all the answers. So you just kind of have to watch because they will start to burn on the edges before they get done in the middle, and that is what you don't want. That's how you end up with pink sausage in the middle, which is disgusting. So you just kind of watch them. You kind of rotate them around once you notice what area of your griddle is the hot spot. And I know a lot of people say, don't flip them a whole bunch, don't mash them down. I hate greasy sausage patties, so I flip mine a lot. And sausage usually makes a ton of grease. I really don't think it matters what brand you choose. We really like the Tennessee Pride. I like the flavor of the Tennessee Pride. And, you know, it makes a lot of grease, but it's not as bad as some. It really has a nice texture, even after it's reheated, which is where a lot of the sausages fail. If I had a press, I'd make my own. But I don't, so we go with what we can buy, and right now that is the Tennessee Pride. This grease, another tip too, while I'm just standing here killing time, this grease that I'm scooping off into the drip tray, you can actually put that in a jar and save it and use it the next time you want fried eggs. I think it's important that you put it in an airtight container so it can't be disgusting. You know, my whole life growing up, my granny had a grease pan on the stove and it had a lid on it, but I'm sure it wasn't airtight, and those were some of the best eggs I've ever eaten or were made at Granny's house. and were speckled with all the grease and all of that. So I'm sure there are 1,000 articles saying why you shouldn't reuse grease, but I'm alive. It didn't kill me, and I enjoyed quite a few amazing Sunday breakfasts with Granny's. So I still do that. I take bacon grease, especially bacon grease, and put that in an old jar and just seal it and keep it in the cabinet. But these are almost done cooking. I'm going to turn the camera off, and then I'll turn it back on once everything is prepped. So here we are, you guys. We're in the middle of prep. Everything is kind of cool to room temperature. You don't want to do anything with anything really still hot. I just use saran wrap and wrap up the sandwiches. And then that makes a week's worth of breakfasts be in this little container. She can grab an English muffin and some bacon and heat that up in the morning with boiled eggs, and we can, the rest of us, those can either do a bacon biscuit, or we can do a sausage biscuit, or whatever we want to do. So I actually did the math one day for what we're spending. It sounds like I spent a lot of money, but you have to remember that the stuff I bought at the store is actually enough to do 3 weeks worth of breakfasts. We get 6 to 7 days for 4 people out of that. So it breaks down to being just under $1 a day a person, and they're not eating boxed cereal or anything like that, which is a big plus in my book. I love knowing that Sis is not going off to school, you know, either not eating at all or having eaten a bunch of sugar junk that's just gonna plummet her energy level at around 9 o'clock. Plus, not having to worry about cooking her own breakfast is a lot easier on her in the mornings too. She doesn't have to think about what she's gonna have because it's already in the refrigerator. Which I'm sure there are a lot healthier things that I could prep, but this is what is working for us right now. So what we have is what we have in here are hard-boiled eggs, which she can eat 1 or 2 every morning. She has her bacon that she puts on English muffins, and then there are pre-made sausage and biscuits if Jesse wants to grab one as he's going to work, or if Brandon wants to grab one in the mornings. So there's 6 sausage biscuits, a pound of bacon, and a dozen, I think I cooked a dozen boiled eggs. I usually do a dozen. Sometimes I go ahead and do a little bit more. It really just depends on how many eggs are in the refrigerator. So I hope you found this helpful. It's not really that expensive. I mean, you're probably going to spend about $30 to $40, but you're going to have breakfast for 3 weeks plus. And then you have the self-satisfaction of knowing that you don't have to worry about what your kids are going to eat for a week at a time. So I think it's a good deal. It's a good deal, y'all. I hope you found this video helpful. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe if you're not, and comment down below if you'd like to see more videos like this. That's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. See ya.